Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of the Captain's Log. Today is Easter Sunday, 2021. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I shut down here in a little town called Rice Lake, Wisconsin, because I needed to get some groceries and things. So uh, it's nice how Walmart allows trucks to park in their parking lots so that we can, find safe harbor and then you'll be able to shop and stuff in their store. So I thank Walmart for that. So on today's episode, I just want to give a quick shout out to all the Christians out there. Today is probably the most important day in the Christian calendar and in Christian history. So happy Easter out there to all the Christians. So today I just want to give a quick progress report on my karate training. And because of my work schedule, my availability is very slim. So what I opted to do is the school that I'm training at has multiple locations near where I live. So there's a class on Thursday night, which is on the other side of town. There's a class on Friday night, which is like 3 minutes from my front door. And then there's a third studio, which is about 40 miles away. So, and they have a class on Saturday. So what I'm doing in order to advance to, I need to advance 2 belt levels to start into the contact training, sparring, and things like that. So I was talking to the instructor about how the progression system works, and basically what he told me is that everybody starts with no belt, and usually after the first or second class they earn their white belt, which is where I'm at right now. And then the promotion to gold belt, which is the next level up, requires 4 stripes on the white belt, and I just earned my red stripe. So I've got 3 more stripes to go, then I can advance to gold. And then once I reach the gold level, I have to earn the same 4 stripes, and then there's an actual testing process to advance above that level. And the level above that is the gold belt with the green stripe, and that gets me into the entry level that I need to be in the sparring class. So in order to maximize my training in the days, I'm only available basically 2.5 days a week because of my work schedule. So what I'm going to be doing is going to the Thursday night class, which is in the late evening, starts about 7:30, and it goes for about 40 minutes. And that is a very active class, and it's a mixture, but there's very few lower belts in that class. It's a lot of people that have reached 4 or 5 levels above where I'm currently at, or sometimes in the case even higher. And then by doing that, I can get training Thursday night. And then my normal class that I'm attending, because they basically have the classes broken down by age group. So they got like a program for the very, very small children, 4 or 5 year olds. They got a program for like the I don't know what you call it, middle-aged kids that are like 6 to like, I don't know, 10 or so, maybe a little older. And then I'm in the teen and adult class, so it's a mixture of adults and teenagers. And I think you have to be 12 or 13 to get into that class. And I'm 45 almost, so I don't have any problem getting into that class. I kind of wish it was just adults, because sometimes these kids that are in that age group have a lot of other things on their minds, and they're not really paying attention, and it kind of slows the class down a little bit. But we all gotta um, work together to train. So the Friday afternoon or Friday evening class starts around just before 7 o'clock, and then goes to about 7:40 or so. And right now, when I first joined that class, there was only 2 or 3 students, including myself, that were coming, and we just had a family with, I'm not sure how many, 4 or 5, just joined that class. So it's kind of nice because we're all basically brand new. So you get a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Introductory type training, which is good, because at my level, I kind of need that. Kids pick up things a lot faster than adults, and so it's nice. The first couple of classes I went, I was the brand new guy, and there was no other people that were starting the same point as me, because the way this school works, you can join any class at any time, and they do have separate classes broken down by belt level. So like white through, let's say, purple can go to this class, and then blue through red go to this one, and then brown and black go to the next one. And the way that this class is designed, you just, once you sign up, you just show up. And the first couple of lessons were tough for me, because starting with basically no beginning training, it was just basically they would call for a certain maneuver or maneuver's not the word I'm looking for. Technique. That's the word I want. They would call for a certain technique. So they'd say something like front leg front kick, go, and I had no idea what that meant, because they didn't actually stop and say, okay, this is what you do for a front leg front kick. So I just kind of waited for the first, I don't know, 1 or 2 repetitions, and I watched the other 2 classmates to see what they were doing, and then I kind of just mimicked that. And then now, with a lot of these new students joining, it's better that for me, because I get a little bit more instruction and not just repetition, which is good. And I I like doing the repetitions, and I like working hard, and and those kind of things. But the more instruction for the class is good at this point. And as I progress in the next levels, then then I'll basically, the next thing we learn is a thing called forms. And in order to advance from the gold belt to the gold belt with the green stripe, you do a form called Genesis, which is just like the Bible. It's the beginning. In the beginning, you learn this form, and it consists of several techniques that are combined together with a pattern that you step on the floor. So you do like 3 maneuvers, techniques to the left, and you turn and do them to the right, and then you go back to the left, and then you go forward, and then you at the gold belt level, you end, I want to say, after the 3rd step forward. So you do 3 steps to the right, and each step consists of a step, a block, a punch, then a step, a block, a punch, and then step, a block, a punch. You turn 180 degrees, go back the other direction, same combination. Turn, step, block, punch, turn, step, block, punch, and then go back to the center, and then you do the same thing forward, and then you conclude, I think it's with a double punch. So you start moving forward, step forward, punch, block, step forward, punch, block, step forward, block, punch, punch. And I think, because I've only done it once or twice, and I think that's where it ends. But I'm not 100% certain on that. So, as we um, start studying more, and then working towards learning that form, then I will obviously have a much better understanding of it. And I'm going to try and get some video of it when I do the promotion test. That way I can include it in the into the video. Now, I've also learned that there's different programs set up for different levels of commitment. And there's like just the come as you go or pay as you go kind of method. And you buy like a punch card kind of deal. And you get 15 punches, so 15 classes on that punch card. And then when you fill up that punch card, you buy another one and another one and so on and so forth. And then there's the black belt program, which is basically it's a set fee for the program, and I want to say it's just shy of $2,900, and that's not including your testing fees and your sparring equipment. That's separate. And then there's like the master's program. Oh, let me step back a second. So in the black belt program, you get a different uniform. It's like a white uniform, white pants, white top. It's not like the fold across gi type where you tie one side goes underneath and you tie it underneath your armpit, and then the other side goes across and you tie it underneath the other armpit. So it kind of makes that little like V cross deal like that. But this uniform, it's straight white pants with black trim, and then instead of a fold over gi shirt jacket, it's a pullover, like a V-neck pullover shirt with the sleeves that are about to your mid forearm, and then it has a patch sewn onto this side. Because the uniform that I have now that I had on the video earlier has just a silk screen logo, and then the new uniform that you get when you join the black belt program, and I want to say you gotta pay $180 for the uniform. It comes with the patch, and it's an actual patch sewn on to the uniform, and it's got an American flag on, I want to say, the right arm, and the rear arm has got another patch logo, and it's kind of shaped like a diamond. Not like a diamond, but it's more of a flat down, and then down logo, and your name embroidered. So I only have 3 letters in my last name, so it won't take up much space. But and that has black trim on the coat. So I'm looking forward to getting the new uniform, because the introductory uniform it's only $25. You buy the uniform, and that's like your key to unlock the classes. So you buy the $25 uniform, and then you get unlimited classes for the first 30 days. So that's where I'm currently at now. And I started on the 13th of March, so I have about a week and a half left before I have to make a choice, and then to either stay on that pay as you go program or move into the black belt program. And they say it takes anywhere from a minimum of 3 years to advance to the black belt level. And then I'm in no hurry. I mean, I'd like to do it before I turn 50. So that gives me not quite 6 years. So I'm not quite 45 yet. So that gives me almost 6 years to move through the training. And that's the program that I'm looking into. There's another program which is called the Master Program. I don't know a lot of detail about it. I know you have a different uniform. It's a blue uniform instead of a white uniform, and that's a lot more money. Now I may finish the black belt program in 4 or 5 years, whatever, and then advance beyond that into the master program. But at this point in time, I'm not even thinking about that because I just want to, mainly I want to do this because it's fun for one. It's a lot of fun, and two, it's a great workout, and it doesn't take a lot of. It's not that expensive. If you think about the cost of a gym membership, where you're paying, 60, $70 a month, you know, this is about the same cost. So I'm when you compare the two, that they obviously don't compare apples to oranges. The gym has a variety of different types of equipment and free weights, and some have aerobics and spin training and all kinds of other classes. And this is just straight out martial arts.
Attention, a new important message has arrived.
That's probably my dispatcher telling me what time they want me to start tonight. I got a run tonight up to Duluth area, and it's a really easy night, only 500 miles. So that's probably what you heard there. Anyways, getting back to my story. I completely lost my train of thought. I hate when it happens. You have something distract you and you lose your train of thought. Oh, I was talking about just the differences between the gym and martial arts. What I like about it, it's a lot of aerobic type exercise, plus it's a combination of self-defense and discipline and those kind of things, that are going to be helpful, in the future if you ever have to defend yourself. And you always hope that you don't have to get into a situation where you have to defend yourself, but in the event that ever does happen, I want to be able to defend myself. And the third reason that I want to do this, I kind of want to compete. I kind of want to put myself up against other people, and it's not all hand-to-hand combat. There's different forms. You can do competition on different forms, or weapons choreography, all kinds of things. So there's a wide range of ways to compete, and I'm not a super competitive guy. I was an athlete in high school, and I did a lot of intramural type sports when I was in the military. So I kind of like that aspect, and I kind of like being able to test myself up against other people. And the tournaments, there's different brackets of things you can compete in, and it goes by belt level, weight, just like wrestling or boxing or whatever, where you have a weigh-in. You have to meet a certain weight to compete at that level. And then, of course, belt level. And, you can't compete above your belt level or down, in the hand-to-hand stuff. You have to compete at someone with the same skill level. So I kind of like the idea of just being able to really push myself and challenge myself more than anything else, to see what I can and can't accomplish. So right now, things are looking pretty good. And I mentioned before, because of my work schedule, I go to the class on Thursday and class on Friday, which are straight karate lessons. Saturday morning class, I was the only male student. It's mostly, it's all women. It's taught by a woman, and there was 4 or 5 women in the class, and it was kind of an aerobics type workout where we did a lot of aerobic activities, and we kind of did I think it was about 45 minutes, and we did about 15 or so minutes of straight aerobics, doing all, different types of, where you run in place, and you do jumping jacks, and you do other aerobic activities, kind of where you kind of bounce side to side, off one foot off to the other, or front and back, left to the right, back and forth. So it's a good all around aerobic workout. And then the second kind of 15 minutes, we did a lot of hitting with the pads, and there was only 6 of us in the class. Well, 5 plus the instructor. So I teamed up with the female instructor for the pad hitting, and then I didn't just have to do it by myself. I got to to hit the pads, and then she'd hit the pads, and we went back and forth for whatever type of striker combination we were doing. It's kind of a kickboxing thing. So it's a lot of aerobics, a lot of punching, a lot of kicking, the pads, and then we kind of moved on to kind of I think it's isometric exercise where you don't do any. It's not weightlifting. You we each had to pick a card from a deck of cards, and of course because I was the only guy there, it was like Disney princesses were the cards, and each person drew a card, and whatever the value of that card was, you did whatever. Let's say it was a 7. See, and you went around the circle. So if you drew a 7, you would do 7 push-ups, and then double some kind of abdominal. So crunches, sit-ups, leg lifts, things like that. So if you did 7 push-ups, you did 14 of those. Then the next person in the circle would pull a card, whatever the card value was, we did the same thing, and then they got to pick the abdominal exercise, and I did a lot of crunches, did a couple of leg lifts, and some flutter kicks, and that was that class. Then I went from that class to my normal Saturday class, which is all karate, and then I went for another 40 minutes, so we're talking now we're an hour and almost a half of solid workout. And then I went to a third class, which is all karate, and when that was another 40-minute class. So I basically did almost around 2 hours of solid exercise, a little break. I had to drive between class locations, and that's how I earned my first stripe. So that's my progress report. I'll keep you informed when I get my next stripe, and hopefully soon, say within another month and a half or so, I should have my gold belt. So on that note, thanks for watching the Captain's Log. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good day.